Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Big Wavy Roy Johnson.
Hello and welcome to the special edition of My Brit Rest Journey on bbgwrestling.com. I'm Chris Lappin, and what do you do when you need to have some great promotion for a show? You send a pud. I'm delighted to be joined by Padraig Quinlan. How are you doing this evening, bud?
I'm all good. I'm tired. Yeah, I've come back from training. Very very excited to do this podcast. Never been on a podcast before, so I'm a bit nervous, but yeah,
just chill.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, just nice, easy chat. That's good. Yeah. So Pud's joined us to promote Infamous presents a very specific brand of hostility. It's this Saturday, 8th of October at the Runcorn Masonic Hall. Yeah, I did that better than I did with Mike. I forgot to write down the name of the show when I did it with Mike the other day. So...
it's a long show name.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, DJ has joined us to present Infamous presents Mike, I forgot to write down the name of the show. So before we get into the show, you've had an amazing couple of months in ring, as I say.
Yeah, I've been really, really happy. Obviously, like I've had my Wrestle Island debut, Infamous, TNT. Technically, I count it.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be a VIP match. Didn't advertise it.
I didn't know it was going to be a VIP match, but yeah, I'm happy that I got onto the show in some capacity.
Yeah. So how did you find out you're going to be in the Island Rumble? Was it
the Island Rumble? So Big Papa Pete. Obviously, there was in the Island Temple. It was that there was some temple spots open, and they would be chosen like based on training. So he messaged me like a few days before the Rumble and asked me if I wanted to be in it, and obviously I was buzzing and said yes. And it was a great show, like top to bottom. Obviously Rumbles are always fun, super nice to be in.
You were in for a while though. You didn't just go in and get dumped out straight away. You were in for a while.
It was 11 minutes I was in there for.
Yeah. It's like longer than Jenna was in and out, and Joe Kessler was in and out, and just like
Conor Clyne.
Yeah, it's just still. So, you were in for ages. Sounds like. Yeah, and then you made your debut for Infamous on that excellent debut show. I really enjoyed that. Can't wait.
Very, very, very good show.
Facing your brother.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
caused some strange conversations over the weeks that followed.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. When they said they were doing an open challenge, I wasn't expecting you and Pitbull to be their opponents. So I don't know who I thought it was going to be, but I wasn't expecting you to come out in your pink pants. It's me.
Those pink pants are so recognisable.
Yeah. It's just a stark contrast to Chris when it is black. And you're bright pink. It's just like
it's weird because how me and Christy wrestle and like how we are as people is actually very similar. Like we're very, very similar people, but in like wrestling attire, we couldn't be more opposite. We've even got like completely opposite coloured boots.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's brilliant, Christy. I can't believe he's only 18 as well. I was like, 19 or whatever he is now.
He turned 19 this month.
Yeah.
He definitely looks a lot older. I think a lot of people do forget he is like still very, very young.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he's great. because I'm his
Yeah,
brother.
I think he's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
except he's 19 and he can command a training session like he does at the temple
Yeah.
sometimes. It's just like
It's
amazing.
I mean, very talented, but he's worked really, really hard, and it's nice to see when it does sort of pay off and he gets like opportunities, like, you know, wrestling at the TNT Ignition show and pinning Matt Brooks, was it that he pinned? No, Max Brooker.
Max Brooker, yeah.
With his signature pin.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun match. It was nice to see Max out there as well. So see us.
Oh, Max is great. I love Max. Obviously he's like super handy to have at a show as a promoter.
Mhm.
Like, best ring crew in the country. But
Yeah.
I mean, past that, he's a phenomenal worker. He's just a lovely person. He's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, he's somebody I've always seen at shows being like as a helper. It's only recently I've been speaking to him at like training and got to know him a bit. So it's like, yeah, he's nice. So,
Yeah, he's such a nice person. Very, very genuine. And I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, he was great. He was great at the weekend, training us. So with him, helping out Brian. So yeah, so good. So.
This is Padraig Quinlan, and my Brit Rest journey has decided to send Pud.
Yeah, so this Saturday again, 8th of October, Runcorn, Masonic Hall. Infamous presents a very specific brand of hostility. So after your impressive debut,
thank you.
You are now in a 6-man tag, so against all of the Violent Gentleman Society with one of my favourite tag teams, Isaac's Heroes. It's made to last, so it's going to be a great match.
Don't get me wrong, they're one of my favourite tag teams too.
Yeah.
I found out I was teamed with them, and I just fist bumped the air. It was great. Like I haven't actually spoke to Ryan much in the past.
No,
he's lovely, and they're both really, really great, great wrestlers. It's always nice seeing actual tag teams. I absolutely love tag teams, tag team wrestling's an art, and I think they have it as close to mastered as you can get in our scene, at least. So I'm super excited to like sit under their learning tree and wrestle alongside them. It's going to be a great match.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. But yeah, for them being in a slightly more serious match than they were last time against Dougie and Marcus.
Complete change of pace.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a really fun match. But yeah, I do love the dynamic between Joey and Dougie. Like they don't really want to be a tag team, and one's a heel and one's a face. So it's a great dynamic.
Very interesting that the only thing they've got in common is Wales.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, them made to last to cut their teeth against like some proper hard men. So yeah. I am representing the Violent Gentleman Society tonight.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Not very happy with you, Chris. But
well, you need to bring out some Pud merch, and then we'll.
I've considered it, but I don't even know what. Maybe like I've thought about getting a little like envelope because send Pud.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I've thought about just bringing out pins that are like stamps. I think I feel like people would rather buy a pin than a whole shirt. Obviously cheaper, more easily worn. Yeah, definitely. I've thought about bringing out merch. I'd have loved to have made a Pud to Last shirt for this show. Might still be time, but yeah.
That shirt I got for Joel the other day.
Yeah,
it took 5 days to get it, and you can get a sheet. You'd pay £6 and it'll be there in 2 days. So.
Yeah, you never know. I remember when I first started training, and I was told I was like gonna be on a show. Me and Christy. Obviously it was only like little tiny showcase shows for like the the kids training class, but yeah, no, me and Christy like made our own shirts, and they were great. They were, I missed their shirts. Obviously, back then I went by Puck.
Yeah.
It was. I'm pretty sure the way that started was Matt Fox, head trainer, and just like really great person. Absolutely love Matt. I have so much respect for him. I'm pretty sure he just misheard me say pud, head Puck, and I just didn't correct him for some reason. But yeah, so that stuck for a little bit.
Yeah, gonna bring merch, have little hockey pucks on with the horse. Is that
It was a diamond.
Diamond, that's it.
Yeah, Harry McKenny stole my gimmick.
Oh, it's great that he's back as well.
Oh, I love Harry. When I first started training, I remember the thing that really stood out to me about everything in the class was I didn't know his name then. I just thought that he has the best flip bumps.
Yeah.
So almost out of spite, I really trained flip bumps for so long until I could like perfect them and get them to the level of Harry's, and I still don't think I'm there yet.
No. I was convinced he was going to be the mystery man on the 6-man tag the other day. I thought Pete would have liked that, but it was great that Max got picked.
It would have been very cool. I mean, I'm so happy that Harry's back. I can't wait to get the opportunity to wrestle him, hopefully somewhere down the line. And
I think he's still owed a Wrestle Ireland Championship match for winning the Prospect tournament in 2019, was it? So
is that what you get from it?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think that's what you got back then.
If I win Prospect Wars and I don't get a shot at what will hopefully still be Lance's title by then, I'll fume.
I'm getting a shot this Saturday because he told me on the podcast if he ever did training, he's going to bring the belt and I can have a title match. So. I said either if we just handshake, he super kicks me and pins me. I've had a championship match.
Technically, you've fought for the title.
Ready? Get it up! Ding, ding, ding. In the back. Ding, ding, ding. Every time I leave them alone.
It's a beautiful belt. I really like that belt.
Oh yeah, it's lovely, and it weighs a bloody ton. He's giving it to Isaac the whole, being like, oh. Yeah. So we discussed Lance, Matt Fox. They're in the main events. So it's Lance and Conor Clyne versus Matt Fox and Dylan Roberts. So the end of.
I am so excited. I think it was. Oh no, I might be mistaken actually. But anyway, yeah. I think that was what I'm thinking of. Is I saw Declan McCarthy tweeted about. I can't remember whether it was this match or the Joey Hayes Dale Roberts one at infamous guest match at Extreme Fields. And he said, I will be watching this with a notebook. And I thought, same.
Yeah, we're having a date day going to Extreme Fields. So
Oh, are you going?
Yeah, me and Rachel going. Yeah.
That's great.
No kids, just going for the day.
Nice little wrestling show date. That's great.
Yeah, she got me a ticket for my birthday.
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
Then she decided she wanted to go as well. So yeah, we're having a fun date day. Get rid of the kids for the day.
I'm gutted that I won't be able to be there. We are on holiday by then, but I mean, hopefully I'll be there for 2023.
Yeah, I was gutted. I missed it last year because it looks so good.
Yeah,
I
think it's a great concept. It's a really cool concept to have like a wrestling festival.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a stupid amount of like 18 matches or something over the 8 hours last year.
Yeah,
and so it was like, no,
one of those where you can just like dip in and out at any time. And I don't think I would, because I just love wrestling. I just love watching it. But it is one of those where you can sort of come in, watch a few matches for a few hours, and then go like have something to eat and come back, and they'll still be wrestling.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so the main event came along because it was not Declan McCarthy, you just got me in the head. Dylan Roberts versus Lance Revera, main event of the last show.
Great.
At the end of the match, it looked like Lance was going to shake hands with Dylan after a straight match, and then Conor came in and went, "Nah, what you doing?" They both battered Dylan, and Matt Fox made the save, and set up this great match.
This is really, it's a clashing of eras. Matt Fox, Dylan Roberts, both been in the game for so long. I mean, Conor and Lance have too, obviously, but yeah, both those guys have like been there so long. They are really like the definition of like veterans of the industry. I'd just love to just like sit in the backseat of a car while they're driving up to the show and hear what their conversation is, their game plan for the match. I think that'd be really, really great. And obviously Lance and Conor, two people I personally love. I respect them both greatly. I've said that a lot. I have a lot of respect for a lot of people, but yeah, I think that match is really, really gonna be such an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna also show a lot of people what Infamous is about. Obviously a fledgling company. I don't know if I'm using that term right, but like it's the second show, and the card, obviously we've seen it all, absolutely stacked. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll go through the card in a minute, but it's just like,
it's going to be such a good show, and I hope to see a lot of people there, and I think that there will be a lot of people there.
Yeah, we're looking at bus routes because there's apparently going to be a train strike that day. We're like,
I saw that.
Yeah, so we're like, it's 15 minutes on the train, or it's an hour and a half on the bus. We're definitely going to go, but we're just thinking of what time do we have to get there to get to the bus and stuff, and then getting home is going to be a pain in the arse, getting an hour and a half bus.
Yeah, it'll be brutal. I think it'll be worth it.
We'll be there. Yeah, we've been to like when we go to the Kingdom of Wrestling shows and like just outside Southport, we get in after 11 o'clock when we go to that every time, so because they don't finish up at 9:30. So.
To go to see a Kingdom show, was it where Tommy and Casey from VGS for Freak Show?
Yes,
that was. I saw a lot of clips from that match, and I was sad to have missed it. Would have been very good to take some notes.
Did they just announce they're having a table match at the next show?
Oh yeah, they did. I'll have to try and get down to that surely.
Yeah, it's actually in Southport next time. I can't remember the venue. It's just by the train station. I know. But yeah, it's on the 25th of November, I think. I want to say that. Yeah, it's right before Rachel's birthday, so it's around then. So.
It'd be a shame if you forgot her birthday.
I know her birthday is. I know that. I think it's the 25th of November. So let's go through the card. So you got Polish Barry versus Ry Lloyd. So Ry Lloyd was in the fatal four-way at the same match. He wasn't happy with some of Polish Barry's commentary about him, so he attacked Barry after the match, setting up this match. It's gonna be fun. I love Barry. He's fun. Yeah.
Barry's just so charismatic. He's got heaps of personality.
I loved Extreme Barry at the weekend. It was hilarious.
Honestly, I loved his Budweiser shirt. Yeah. It was great. That was a really fun match. Him versus Brian versus Drill. I got to watch that like from the balcony, and it was really, really good. Just lovely, just like great to see. Obviously, as well, I love Brian to death, and it was lovely to see him win. But yeah, should I make predictions?
Can do if you want. Yeah.
Okay, so Polish Barry, obviously lost personality, a very hard hitter, trust me. And Ry Lloyd, again, incredibly hard hitter and very, very just very, very technically and ability wise solid.
Yeah, definitely.
Very
tough. Been around for years as well.
Wrestling. I think it's going to be really close. I'm going to say Barry. I've got to back him because I love him. He's a close friend in wrestling. Mm-hmm. So I've got to back him, and I will be cheering him on through that match.
I want Barry to win because I don't think I've ever actually seen Barry win a match. I'm trying to think.
I know he's won matches. I remember he beat Shady Nachos at a PCW open ring with his finisher, the seismic toss.
Yeah. It's like we used to have a running joke on the podcast that we'd never seen Lance win a match. He's like, I have won a match. I said, yeah, but I've never seen you win a match. And then he came back in 2021, won the first match I saw. Yeah, I think he's barely lost since.
Yeah, he's on a phenomenal streak. His match with Joseph Connors at the weekend it was my match of the night. I loved watching that.
Yeah,
I was surprised
I was on so early. I was like,
yeah. No, I think I was surprised it was on that early as well. I was scrambling to get my notes app open and take notes during the match. It was a very, very, very good match. I loved it.
Yeah, Lance was saying it was the biggest match of his career so far. So
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, we have Harley Hudson versus one of the up-and-coming stars from Future Shock training school, Leah Raven. I don't know much about Leah Raven.
I've not had the chance to meet her yet.
No.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, same.
I've heard really she's making waves. Obviously, she's on quite a few shows now, and very I haven't seen much of her.
No.
So I'm really excited for that match. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I've purely for her experience and strength, I have got to say Harley.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see Harley against somebody new because I have seen Harley against a lot of the same girls over the years. So see her against
new, it's lovely. It's lovely to see. There's a lot more women's wrestling on the scene now, and it's all really, really good. So that's always lovely to see. And I think Harley is one of the best on the scene right now, and I don't think, as much as I'm sure Leah is incredibly talented and very skilled, I just don't know. I don't think I'd be able to beat Harley. I don't think many people on that card would.
No.
She's so strong.
Yeah, she's just somebody. I think she benefits so well from the lockdown because she came out of lockdown. It's just
It was like
It's
a whole
you.
new different person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was this lovely girl before
Yeah.
lockdown, and she came
she,
out a beast. It's just like
still lovely, of course, but
yeah, it's still lovely.
just now lovely and could rip your head off.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, another grudge match. So Jenna versus Isaac North. So Jenna lost to Jack Johnson following hitting the head with a metal bar. And then post match, Isaac North came out and slammed him. So, yeah,
That was very interesting. It caught me off guard. That was right before my match, and I honestly, like, from being behind the curtain ready to go out, I didn't see Isaac North. I think he appeared from nowhere.
I can't remember how he appeared. I just remember him being in the ring. Or something. I can't remember how he.
Well, he's a demon, isn't he? He's
it's amazing.
Dinner also a demon. So this is really, I think that's going to be a very hard hitting, very brutal match.
Yeah.
I think Isaac North came in with such a bang that I really don't know who's going to win that. I think Ginner will put everything on the line, as he often does. He's very all or nothing.
Yeah, he's the guy who, as soon as he gets to the venue, he tries to see what he can jump off. The highest thing. What's the highest thing the insurance will let him jump off?
I'm surprised he hasn't gone off the top of St. Anne's Parish Centre yet.
We went off the window ledge last
Yeah, he did. He got pretty close, actually. Yeah, so this is really a test of will and a test of how far their bodies will let them go. I don't know who's going to win. What's your prediction, Chris? What's your prediction?
I can see Isaac North win. I'm thinking down the road when they're going to start bringing an infamous title in. Who are the guys you want to position? Who do you want to position as the top contenders? I can see Isaac North being up there.
Yeah. I'll just go with you. I agree.
And Jenna can just do his crazy stuff. And wins and losses don't tend to affect him. He's popular and will still do crazy crap.
Definitely wrestles because he loves wrestling and big thrill seeker. And that's nice to see. It's a dying breed. It's definitely like there's been somewhat of a resurgence. There's a lot more guys who have the same mentality and will do everything in their possibility to just absolutely brutalize the opponent.
Yeah, and he likes doing death matches, which I don't get.
I personally would never do one, but that's me.
I think I've got a fear of. I don't even like having needles in my arms. So the thought of having glass stuck in my head or smashed
with needles. It's light tubes, man. Light tubes. Oh.
Yeah, I think just being pierced by anything. So I'm not into pins, barbed wire, glass.
Yeah, I always consider getting my ears pierced, but then I watch videos of people getting their ears pierced, and I'm like, no thanks, not for me.
Yeah, well, Joel recently got his done, and he seemed to be alright. I think the lady was talked to him, and then she just did it, so he didn't even have the tense.
Yeah, maybe it's one of them where it seems a lot more painful than it actually is.
Yeah, maybe. I think we've only got 2 more matches to go through. So Declan McCarthy versus Chase Alexander.
I am so excited for this.
This is a great clash of styles.
Honestly, I'm backing Declan.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I'm backing him because of the Irish connection.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I've got a lot of Irish blood, and he's just big and strong and will throw you about the ring. Chase Alexander, just heaps of personality, heaps of.
His match was amazing. The way they're just swapping the martini between him and Tate.
That was the first match I'd seen of any of those four guys.
Really? Wow.
Genuine, yeah. I don't get out to enough shows, to be honest. It's something that I'm definitely going to remedy in 2023. I want to get to as many shows as possible. But yeah, Chase Alexander and Tate Mayfair's like the martini antics, the knuckle dusters that got me, and Chase's finisher, the big
I don't kind of throws them onto the
Yeah,
back of their neck onto the neck. What it's called.
It's an Ushiroshi. I don't know what his name is for it, but he delivers that with such like brutality. So one thing that I did notice, and I was very annoyed, and I did tell him after it, but I was annoyed at Leon Slater because I really wanted to see the 450.
Yeah.
I've only seen it in clips. It is a work of art.
Yeah.
I've thought about trying a 450 in training, and then I'm like, no point. I'll never compete.
Your backflips are looking quite well. Good.
Yeah. I'm definitely expanding my arsenal. I don't know what flip I'm going to do next. Any suggestions?
If you wanted to, any 450s, they're just trying to put a spin into it.
I've seen Lance do a 450. He does a really good 450.
Yeah, I remember him buzzing on the podcast that he finally did it in training.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has he pulled it out in a match yet? I don't know if I've seen him do it in a match yet.
I think he might have done it once. I don't know. I remember having a conversation with him, but I couldn't remember whether he'd done it once or he's not done it yet. Yeah. I fully expect him to do it against Dan Evans, Scott Oberman, someone this year. I think these are going to be really tough.
Yeah, now he's a face. It's a face move as well. So
it is. I mean, you can pull it off as a heel, but it will always get cheered. To think people can move like that in the air is insane.
Yeah. I'd love him to do against Dan Evans at the next 23rd October. So,
yeah.
Wrestle Island. Yes.
Excited for that match again as well. That'll be a very good match.
Yes. Yeah, and for listeners, you can see my interview with Dan Evans on Friday. Yes, it's
go and listen to it.
Yeah, it will be amazing.
But only listen to it after you've listened to this. Wait, they won't even hear, will they? Because that'll be out before this, surely.
No, it's still out after this.
Oh, okay. Everyone listening to this, go listen to that when it comes out. But don't listen to it before mine, because mine's more important.
Yeah, we're going to have like spoiler things. So spoiler for Mandalorian, spoiler for Andor.
I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, and I feel terrible because I love Star Wars.
It's amazing. I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I base a lot of my wrestling off Star Wars. I've always said if I ever have a triple threat, I'm going to try my hardest to make it just Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul. Phantom Menace. I've just said I'm going to do that. Do that without lightsabers.
All three in the ring at the same time. The whole thing. Yeah. Somehow one gets trapped behind the door for 5 minutes.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think we spoke for like an hour and a half. I think we spoke about wrestling for about 20 minutes, maybe.
I mean, those are always the best podcasts because I feel like you're having a conversation with the two people on it. I love podcasts. I love listening to them in my free time.
Yeah, we both said we'll go back and listen to it and make sure there's stuff because we were just talking. We don't really remember.
Make sure there's actually some form of wrestling involved.
Or we just because there's not anything we have to cut out. It was fun. Yeah, we just chatted, and then stupid dogs start barking, so we had to finish early, just as we were getting to the meat of the Star Wars conversation. So.
Dogs, so annoying.
And then the last match. Oh, this is going to be great. I have no idea who's going to win it. So it's Jack Envy versus Joe Kessler. No idea how this is going to.
I don't, because see, I want to say Kessler purely for the size.
Yeah.
Because he is massive. I didn't realize how big he was until I shared a locker room with him, and I stood next to him, and I just felt dwarfed.
Yeah.
I just felt absolutely like emasculated.
Yeah, I've always liked Joe Bolton, but I've always thought there was something missing. So when so during lockdown when he got this character, it's
completely different. Like, just like insane to think that he can go from what he was to what he is now. It's
so he was always an amazing wrestler, but he was just black shorts.
Yeah. Whereas now
Joe Bolton is just like
now it's completely different to anything we've seen. I don't know. Is he a robot or a spaceman?
Cyber Slayer, is he after? Is he trying to destroy cyber people? I don't know.
We'll find out. Yeah. So I want to say him for the size advantage. But
yeah.
I don't know. You can't discount Jack.
No, he's great.
Because Jack is. Where is it? Is it L25 maybe?
Oh, he was telling me about this. I can't remember in the interview what he was talking about.
But yeah. From the mean streets of his streets. So he's definitely had to fight for a lot in his life. So it's whether size trumps heart, I think.
Yeah, really
I can see it going either way. I'm gonna have to say Kessler logically, but it could just be like complete different story when it comes down to it.
Yeah, so just a reminder for the listeners. So it's this Saturday, October 8th, Runcorn, Masonic Hall. It's Infamous presents a very specific brand of hostility. Ticket information below the interview if you want to have a look. So we'll get back onto Pud now. So what prompted you to don the tights and get in the ring yourself? So it's like...
So growing up, me, Christy, and our other brother, he's older than us. We all loved wrestling. Our elder brother Phelan, he really got us into it. It was so the things that I think actually got me to start loving wrestling was a ladder match DVD. And it had Triple H on the front in an orange jumpsuit. He had his long hair. Handlebar mustache. And it was one match in particular, and it's still my favorite match to this day. It's not the best match I've ever watched, but it's my favorite for sure, and that is Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. I think it was
SummerSlam or the WrestleMania.
I don't know, because I watched them both a lot.
Was it just they had just a ladder match before the TLC match? There was.
I think the one where Rhino and Lita and Spike get involved.
Yeah.
That was the one.
TLC 2.
I think. That your wrestling knowledge is far beyond mine. I wrestle and I watch wrestling, but I could not. If put me in a pub quiz and I'd just completely forget everything.
My favourite pub question ever was, which sport would you associate Bart Gunn and Dougie Basham? I was like, those two random wrestlers. WWE wrestler.
As if you're gonna see the last name Gunn and the last name Basham and think anything other than pro wrestling.
Yeah, but I just thought that was still two random wrestlers. I think it's just like...
not even similar wrestlers. Not even like a tag team.
But I got a point for my team that day. So
naturally.
That is a great match. So was like the high flying hardy stuff was what you wanted to like mold your style around the way you started training those?
So when I started training, I was a lot shorter, a lot stouter, and I could never in a million years do what I can now, because I can do some level of flippiness. Back then, I wouldn't have been able to. When I started wrestling, my favorite wrestler at the time, I was big into. I was a little mark. I was big into a lot of New Japan guys, and I love that hard hitting style. But then, as soon as I started training, it was really Matt Fox's like influence on me that like grew how I see wrestling and the wrestling I watch, because it then became a lot of technical wrestling, a lot of old World of Sport, you know, your Johnny Saints, your Les Kelletts, your Zoltan Bosics, people like that. So now it's like, after training for a little bit and like watching more wrestling, I was like, oh my god, this William Regal guy's great. So I really loved technical wrestling. William Regal's still my favorite wrestler of all time. I absolutely adore him. Yeah, it was a lot of technical wrestling, and I still do that a lot. I haven't really showcased it at all, because I've never had a technical wrestling bout. I'd love to do a submissions match. It's my dream match against anyone. But yeah, so it was that, and then lockdown came, and I started broadening my horizons in wrestling, because I couldn't watch that. I started watching a lot more indie stuff at the time. Fell in love with Eddie Kingston.
Yes, he's great.
Looks so much like Minor Christie's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston is a hard hitter, great on the mic, just all the things that I love in wrestling, he can do. And then, like, I don't actually watch that much like flippy wrestling. I don't really. Obviously, it's very impressive, but like when I'm choosing what to watch, I personally, and this isn't a slight on like the flippier guys, because it's super impressive and it's always entertaining. But I have always been a sucker for like brutal, hard hitting matches. This year, I really got into All Japan, like 80s, 90s All Japan.
I've never really watched it, to be honest.
Oh, you really should. If I could suggest anything, I'd say there's a YouTuber called Joseph Monticello who does case studies. I'd watch his series called Walking the King's Road. Eddie Kingston suggested a lot.
Yeah.
He's part of where I found out about Joseph Monticello. Yeah. But yeah, so like my wrestling style is an amalgamation of all the people I've watched over the years. It's very all over the place, and yeah, it's grown with me as a person.
Yeah. So what was version 1 of PUD like, and how's it evolved to now? For kind of a character, more
So when I started wrestling, I was obviously this like little child who didn't know much. I only started wrestling because Christy found the school, and he wanted to go for his 13th birthday, and I wasn't old enough. But then we went, and the week after, they just let me train, and I started training, and I fell in love with training. I actually, in 3.5 years, from 10 to when lockdown hit, I missed one training session.
Wow.
But yeah, so like started wrestling because of that. I always wanted to be a wrestler, and when I first on a show, I wore the classic Lonsdale boots. Naturally, I had a pair of my mum's leopard skin tights on. I've tried to fish them out, actually. Yeah. I've tried to have them make a comeback, but I don't know where they are, and I don't think they'd fit me. But yeah, so it was that. I had black pleather jacket on, and I was a cocky heel.
Like
Then the next time I
13-year-old
wrestled,
Johnny Hotbody type of thing.
yeah, pretty much. I was 10 when I started. When my first match, 3 months into training, because it wasn't on a proper show, so it was just like, yeah, sure, get in the ring, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first version of me. I've always had a lot of confidence in wrestling. I was always a confident kid. I still am. So that sort of bled into wrestling, and it's always been like a part of my character. So from then to now, obviously now I'm not very cocky. Complete attitude change as I've grown. I've watched a lot more wrestling. I've broadened my horizons, so I base who I am a lot off of my favorite wrestlers. So complete change from then to now, and I can only imagine I'll grow further over the next 6 years.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you when you're like 23, 24, 25. See how good you're going to be. And then if you're this good when you're 16, so
I'll remember, and I'll tweet this exact podcast back.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. When I'm
Appreciate that.
God, I'll be like 50 by the time you're like 23, 24, 25.
People always hate that when I'm like, when I start. So I had my first session of Future Shock the other week, and I found out Sam Bailey had been wrestling longer than I've been alive.
Oh yeah, he's 20 years.
It's he's been wrestling 18 years, I think.
Yeah.
So, and it shows. He's
incredible. He's amazing. He's great.
Yeah. So it is weird because I sometimes forget my own age, and it doesn't play a factor in my head. Obviously, a lot of people see like, oh, this kid's 16 and he's wrestling. That's really cool. That's like a lot of talent. I just think I'm just a person who wrestles. I'm nothing special. I'm not talented in any regard. You know, when I started, I was bad. It's really just 6 years of training has got me here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing. Yeah, just following your career for the next couple of years. It's going to be.
Thank
gonna
you.
Be a lot of fun.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll have achieved some of my very, very high aspirations.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, we can have a match in the near future if I get good enough for this trade. I've kind of thought of if they wanted me to be like a bit of a heel, I could be the. Why are you putting me in with all these kids? I should be on with the adults. Though.
like CM Punk at a media scrum.
Yeah. Yeah, you should put me straight up. I shouldn't be on these are kids shows. I should be straight up on the main show. And then get battered by all these kids. I don't think I ever have to win. I'm too old. So use me to put everybody out.
It's always a good thing to have. Just not being too like, oh no, I'd like to win this. I'm if you haven't noticed, on a losing streak. So far I've had 4. I've only had 4 matches this year. I've not been a very busy year. Obviously I've only just came back to wrestling, so could be a lot worse, and I'm having my 5th next week, and then I've got the Wrestle Island Don't Call It 2.0. I'll be there. So I've got more lined up. But yeah, so I'm yet to win a match. So it's always good to not be like, oh, I have to win.
Yeah.
For me, it's about wrestling. It's not wins and losses, and that doesn't come into play.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to move on to your card? Because I just realised we've been going for over 50 minutes.
Have we? Time flies when you're having fun, Chris.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I've got it here.
So, okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so if you're promoted for a day, promoted an event, so using wrestlers you've worked with, trained with, wrestlers associated to you some way, it can be an obscure way, it's in your if I give you a match type, you tell me who put that match. So
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. And as it's your show, every match can be intergender, 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, throw stupid stipulation on if you want. Just cool. So who will be in your opening contest? Get the crowd excited.
So my opening contest is a tag match.
Ooh, okay.
It's between two teams I'm excited to see wrestle each other.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I've got the team of VGS, and the iteration is Tommy and KC.
Ooh, yeah.
This is made to last. Now, obviously, we're seeing some form of this at infamous October 8th Runco Masonic Hall, a very specific brand of hospitality. But yeah, I think this would really, obviously the job of an opener is to get the crowd hot, and I think the power of KC and Tommy, like hard hitting strikes, and just the charisma of all four of these guys.
Yeah, I could see that much. I could see
You can
Leon Gay getting beaten down most of the match, trying to get that hot tag.
That's my opening match, and I just think it'd be a really, really fun match to watch. I've picked this as a show I'd want to watch.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I just think it'd be a very, very interesting match to see.
Yeah, I'd love to watch that match. And picture it. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever not enjoyed a made to last or a BGS match. So
I think it's impossible.
Yeah. About a comedy style match. So it's like...
So this is one of the areas I've cheated.
Okay.
So I've used these two guys in my comedy match spot purely because of their personalities.
Okay.
To pull back a bit at the curtain a bit, both of these guys super funny. I absolutely love them. To pull the curtain back over, to stop pulling back the curtain. So this isn't a comedy match. This is Polish Barry versus EJ Walsh.
Ooh, yeah.
So obviously,
it could be the funny man and the straight man type of comedy.
It very much could. I don't see it that way. I think Barry, whilst he is incredibly charismatic and incredibly funny, and I love him, he hits hard and he can go. So I think it'd really be great to get the crowd hot. I think it'd be great for the kids. The kids would love it, and that's purely down to how well I think these two would work together in the ring, and I'd love to see it happen eventually. EJ Walsh is the way he riles up a crowd is insane. It's very because I hate him.
Yeah, I want to see more of him because there's the little bits I've seen at Wrestle Island.
He should be more places, and I can only hope that in 2023 he will be. But yeah, Polish Barry versus EJ Walsh. It's in my comedy match spot. It's not a comedy match. Neither of them are comedy wrestlers, but I'd just love to watch it. I think these two guys would work really well together.
Definitely. Your women's title match?
My women's title match is a triple threat. I've got Holly Hudson.
Obviously, yeah.
Stacey Rose. And Tyler Adams.
Ooh, yeah.
So, as much as they don't want you to see it, Tyler and Harley have definitely been having some problems. I think that's clear.
Yeah.
So I think having them given the opportunity to either work together, and whether Tyler would let Harley win, or just go at each other, I think that's a really interesting concept. And I think I think Stacey Rose, absolutely gutted that she's taken a step away. Can't wait for her to come back. I love her so much. She's great. I think she is such a good wrestler. She's so good in the ring, and she's got a really cool vibe. Like she's got like that glam metal vibe. It's really, really cool.
I love the new gear that she's had since she's been back. It's been amazing.
Yeah. I love the sparkly gear.
Yeah, the silver stuff.
It's great. I think the story of Harley and Tyler, will they fight? Will they team up? What's going to happen there? And Stacey and Harley's history. I think it'd be a really, really good match.
Yeah, I'd really like to watch that.
It'd be that's my women's title match.
Yeah, Tyler was one of my predictions to answer the open challenge at the last Island show.
Yeah,
I thought that might have been.
I expected it.
Yeah,
maybe there's still time for it in the future.
Yeah, I predicted either Tyler Adams or Lucia Lee was going to answer it, but I had no idea it was going to be Kaya. So,
yeah,
I didn't know she was going to be there.
Nice to see. I'd never met her before. I've heard great things about her, and obviously they were all true.
Yeah,
very, very good and lovely.
She was lovely. Yeah, I interviewed her 2 weeks ago. Yeah, she was lovely.
Yeah,
she's only somebody I'd only ever seen on the YouTube, but yeah, she's great. Cool. Your mid-card title, so your workhorse title.
This isn't so. This match and the main event are interchangeable.
Okay.
Because this is another triple threat. I'm a big fan of triple threats. So this and the main event would both be absolutely incredible matches. But I've put this as mid-card because it is a workhorse title. Like, you could see this if there were some Brit Rest variation of ROH, you could see this being like a main event, and that is Lance Rivera versus Harry McKenney versus Brian Aidenson.
Oh, yes.
So, very different styles of wrestling. And I just want to see it happen. The reason I picked this match is because I want to see it happen. Because I've never seen these three guys in this setting, and I think adding the title.
I was trying to think. I'd ever seen. Yeah, I've seen Lance versus Brian.
I've seen Lance versus Brian. I've seen Lance versus Harry, and I've seen Harry versus Brian. But I've never seen all three of them. So it's definitely something that I'd want to watch, and I love all of the people. I honestly couldn't pick. It'd be like picking. I don't know. It'd be like picking your favorite son. You can't do it. It's impossible.
But it's Lance.
I think that'd just be an absolute just a phenomenal match.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Harry wrestle again. So a hardcore Extreme Rules match. This can be your everyday 24/7 comedy hardcore match, right up to death match. You can be extreme as you want. Seriously.
I've picked. This is not a triple threat. Surprise, surprise. But so I picked these two guys because I just think I'd love to see it happen, and both the people involved, absolutely lovely, such nice people. But when they get into the ring, just completely insane. Those two people are Jack Johnson.
Yes, beautiful.
And Aiton Steen.
Oh, yes.
So I've met Aiton once, and it was brief, and it was at Infamous. He was there. Barely had the chance to speak to him, and upon watching more of him, just crazy how he's good enough to just have a singles match, no weapons involved. But then when he does get the opportunity to have a hardcore, a death match, there's still story involved, and there's still it's still great. Jack Salford, just very charismatic. Great character work. Represents Manchester like no one else could. Like modern Manchester, not like Britpop. And just a great person. So he was definitely one of the people who shocked me because I never expected him to be like a mean person, but from how he is in the ring to how he is out of it, just
it's very nice, isn't it?
He's so nice, and can't wait to meet him again at Infamous. Can't wait to watch his match. Yeah, I'm very, very. I'd love to see this match happen. Aidan Steen versus Jack Johnson for
I watched that Aidan Steen versus Jinner death match they had recently.
Yeah,
I've seen
absolutely
pictures of it.
insane.
I've seen the aftermath pictures of it, so I want to see the match.
Yeah, just two people who be given weapons. just yeah. Did you catch what I said there? No.
No, I think you went
I
quiet
just
for a
said
second.
two people who shouldn't be given weapons.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So, what's the last one? There's two more.
So
Isn't there?
you got your tag team title match.
Tag team. So I might have cheated again, but I don't know how the rules work on this. Was I allowed to put myself on the card?
Yeah, it's your card. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
A lot of people put themselves in the main event.
Myself and Christy. Quintessential.
Like boys. Yeah, quintessential
Against Act 2.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
This is a match that I know me and Christy have wanted for so long. I absolutely love the Act 2 boys.
They're so fun.
So fun. Just really, really lovely, genuine people. And great wrestlers. Such good wrestlers. Such great energy, and they work so well together as a tag team. And obviously two great singles guys as well. Like you can see either of them in a singles match and it would be absolutely phenomenal. But I just think I'd really enjoy this match. I'd really enjoy being in it, and I think we'd put on a really good match.
That'll be really fun. Quintessential.
So yeah, so that's my
tag team.
that's my choice for the tag titles. If I got to book who won, obviously me. Yeah.
Cool. That's your main event? Sorry.
My main event. This is a match that I don't think has happened, and I don't know why it's not happened, because if I was a booker, this would be the first match I'd book.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the first match I had written down, and that is Matt Fox, who I've spoke about a lot.
Yeah.
Love him. Want to see him more in 2023, and very excited for his match at Infamous versus Sam Bailey.
Don't know if that has ever happened.
I don't think it has. I've never heard of it happening, and I don't know why. Because
the only place I could think it might have happened, maybe Britannia, but I can't think. It's not jumping out at me. It's someone's met. Yeah.
Honestly, when the only way I can describe both these guys is with the word geniuses. The way they think about wrestling and the way they teach wrestling is so great. I love Matt. I wish I could see him more. Can't wait to see him next. Pretty sure he trains at LWF. If anyone is listening to this and is near the area, LWF's a great school to go to. I have trained there. Great school to train at. And if Foxy's Fight Club is ever on, then turn up and bring your notepads. Yeah. Sam is. I've only had the pleasure of meeting Sam recently, and I'm so glad that I have. just completely, just like phenomenal. I watched, so I wasn't there live, but I had the chance to watch on YouTube him versus Chris Ridgway, Pure Rules.
Yeah.
Now a pure match has always been a dream of mine since watching Danielson versus McGuinness. I think the storytelling that you have the chance to do in that match, there's so many options. Obviously, I don't know if you've watched Bailey versus Ridgway.
No, not yet.
It's so good.
Wasn't that Future Shock's anniversary
18th
show?
anniversary show,
yeah,
which I'm sad I wasn't there for. And I can't wait to make it down to a Future Shock show.
It's been
Maybe
on
one day be booked.
It's been on our list for ages to get to.
Yeah,
Future
I think it's 100% worth the travel. If the training's anything to go by, because that's expensive for me and Christy, okay, because we have to get the train there, but so worth it. So, and I don't know why, but yeah, I just don't know why Matt Fox versus Sam Bailey hasn't happened. If you're a promoter and you're listening to this, please book this match and put me on the show so that I can watch the match.
Let's book this whole card. I'd love to watch this card.
Yeah. Well, I've put my heart and soul into this card, so that means a lot.
Yeah. I think every match I'd really love to watch.
Yeah.
Have you ever is quintessential like a thing that could be booked if there's was Christy too much?
Quintessential could be booked. I mean, our relationship's a bit rocky at the moment. Obviously, maybe after this show, when I obviously inevitably win, and Christy sees the error of his ways, and just like joins me, just we can wrestle as quintessential. We can be a tag team. But that's probably wishful thinking. But yeah, no, quintessential is definitely something we want to happen. And we just love tag team wrestling. We're huge FTR marks.
Yeah.
In the house. We it's they're just, in my opinion, the best tag team of all time. FTR.
Yeah, I loved them. Yeah. So they seem to be just a thrown together team on NXT one time for them to do what they've done. So
yeah, that their match against the Revival, not the 2 out of 3 falls one, is what I think it's probably my top 5 favorite matches of all time. Such a good watch. I can watch it endlessly.
Yeah, they're feud again. Yeah, them versus that one was it DIY and not Alpha Academy. What they called? American Alpha.
Yeah. They honestly, that era of tag wrestling was great. Yes. So good. And now they're having great matches in AEW with like the Briscoes and the Young Bucks and all that. And love it.
Yeah,
absolutely a mark. I know Polish Barry doesn't like AEW. So yeah, I don't know how. I think it's great, but like
I do really like it. It's just finding 3 hours a week to watch wrestling, more wrestling.
Me and Christy just set aside Wednesday nights for Dynamite. It's great because I'm in college Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I have to get up super early on Thursday. But I'm like, Dynamite's on. I may as well.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that card is great. So before we go, do you have any social media you want to promote?
One of Ben Cecil's favorite wrestlers, because my Twitter and my Instagram are the same. Also, follow Ben Cecil. He's not leaving Brit Rest, so I'm gonna plug him as well.
Yeah.
Ben Cecil MC on Twitter.
Wasn't he gonna be an steward or something?
Yeah, but now staying indefinitely. So
great.
It's great to see. I hope I get to see him on commentary. I'd love to work with him on commentary. I'd love to do that. But yeah, so my Twitter and Instagram are both sendpud, capital S, capital P on Twitter. That's where you can find me. If I were you, I'd follow me on Twitter because I think I'm hilarious. And yeah, those are the only two places you can find me.
Cool. I'll put links in the description below.
Thank you.
So it's this Saturday, 8th of October, New Runcorn, Masonic Hall. Infamous Wrestling presents a very specific brand of hostility. So yes, so yeah,
It's gonna be a great show.
Oh, it's gonna be very fun. Can't wait. So yeah, so I've really enjoyed speaking today. I'd love to have you on again in the future, and I'm sure I'll see you at the weekend.
I'd love
training.
I'll
so.
see you at the weekend. Yeah, it's been great chatting with you, as always.
Thank you.